hola, sakpase, and big up yourself. My name is Gina. Now, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode on behalf of Island TV and iVisionTV.net. Now, this weekend, me and Jaya were over at the Lowry Park Zoo at the Haitian Flag Day Festival, and we had a wild time.
A lot of time, complication can happen where things happen, but a lot of time, things don't really happen. With me, I have a guy friend. We've been friends for like 5 years and nothing really happened. And also with a lot of you in the chat room, and I saw someone say that they've been friends with a guy, she's married, and pretty much nothing happened. To be honest with you, it worked for some people and it worked for me also, but I have to also tell you that I have a couple guy friends, it doesn't work out. They be like, well, if we can't be together, it's not gonna be at all. Why should we be friends if we can be together?
Well, what I noticed is, if you're watching the clip closely, she says, I hope nothing will happen between us that ruins your relationship with your girlfriend. And the guy goes, I hope not. He says hope and not no. So I think if you tune into more of that show, I think maybe later on something's going to happen to them. But in the chat room, somebody did say it was a guy, and he says, yeah, you can have friends, but you have to have self-control. Now, when he said that, it only leads me to believe that the thoughts will still be there. You'll always think of them in that way. It's just you got to work really hard to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, just like you say, Gina, let's hope that things don't happen. I mean, who knows the future? We don't. Actually, I personally don't. Only God does. So what can we do? We can try our best not to allow things happen, but a lot of time it happens. You know, we can never say never say never, because you never know. But what we can do is just try to be careful, but that does not guarantee us that nothing will never happen. So far, nothing happened, but in the future, just like you said, you never know.
And what I've noticed is, from the clip and what people are talking about in the chat room, they seem to be more worried about having friends of the opposite sex when they're already with someone. So if they're saying there's a problem there, then they're saying that if they were single, they would go for it. Now, I want to remind you guys that this is a live call-in show, and I know we're talking about the chat room a lot, but we have phone lines, and they have just been opened up. So if you see that phone number right at the bottom of your screen, should be right in this vicinity.
Definitely.
Dial it up, and we will talk to you. All right? We need to hear from you guys. Now, some people who are married, oh, actually, one of the people in the chat room said that some of the people who are married can't have friends. And they said this because if you get mad at your spouse, you have that friend to go to get back at your spouse. Wow, that's some crazy insight right there.
Caller, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Don from Clearwater.
Hey, Don, what's up?
Thanks for calling.
Well, I know you guys are talking about men and women being friends, and I absolutely see no problem with it whatsoever. Men and women can absolutely have a friendship that's not sexually based at all, as long as there's a mutual respect and mutual understanding between the two parties.
Oh, interesting. So I guess he's probably had a few experiences where he never submitted to the temptation. So it sounds like if you have self-control, you'll be all right.
Thanks for calling, Don. I agree, though. It worked for some people. Like I said in the beginning, I have a couple friends until now. I don't really know how they feel because I'm not in their heart. But, you know, pretty much nothing happened, and I don't feel like anything gonna happen anytime soon. But with some of my friends, they'd be like, well, we can't be friends because I like you. Obviously, we're on different pages, and I don't want to talk to you like we used to, so I guess this is goodbye. I'm like, if that's how you feel, okay.
All right, we have another phone call. Caller, you are on the air. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you fine.
Can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, it's very difficult to hear you girls. This is Stan in Tampa. How are you?
Hi, Stan.
Yeah, you can be friends with females. You can befriend anybody in life. It depends on the attitude you take with them. It depends on if you're really in a friend or an acquaintance. I think a lot of people who say they're friends are actually just acquaintances, and they don't really understand a person or get to know them, or they have some ulterior motives when they become a friend. But in some instances, things can bring people together that you may not are made least expected, and you find a common ground between each other as a true friend. No matter what happens, you can remain that way. You become lovers, you become confidants, whatever it is, you still have the basis of friendship to draw from. A circumstance arose today where a friend of mine from Miami called me and told me that my girlfriend from high school had died. And I haven't spoken with her in quite some time, but we remain friends through thick and thin. And I'm very heartstruck right now. But yes, on the words of your topic, you without a doubt can become a friend and stay friends with a female. They're beautiful creatures, they're inspiring, they're knowledgeable, and they have so much to offer. They are the mothers of the earth. And to not be one's friend and to disrespect them is a crime against nature, in my opinion. I enjoy your show, and I hope you have a great evening.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Well, I was just calling. I wanted to say that if you're not married, it's perfectly all right to have friends who are members of the opposite sex. Because today, I mean, men and women work together, they go to school together, so they should be able to be friends. But the thing is, when you're married, it's different. It's possible to have an opposite sex friendship, but you cannot compromise certain things. For example, you can't go out late with the person, you can't take long drives or a long trip like you would do with your girlfriend. You cannot place yourself in any situations where, like romantic situations. You can't be alone with the person because, I mean, romance can grow between